Myron Gaines just took another L, and your boy is here to celebrate. Whenever I can grift off of him and his problems, you know me, I'ma do it. And here's a great opportunity to talk about what's going on right now between Myron and black feminists. As you know, Myron has a fascination with disrespecting black people.
Bro, reparations are for okay? Black people need to just stop being lazy. You're not gonna get a fucking handout, okay? We're not gonna give you your fucking reparations because guess who's gonna have to pay for that shit? The middle class is gonna have to pay for it.
But specifically, it extends to black women.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Yo, this is why so many people don't fuck with black women, man. I'm gonna keep it all the way a million with
now
y'all.
You're making it a race thing, and that makes it even worse.
No. Let me go into this. Let me go into this shit. Because you know who's the only group of women a lot of the times that run around and sit there and say I'm strong and independent, blah blah blah. Because you guys are, you guys go ahead and you be quiet while I speak, please.
Despite saying all of those rude and disrespectful things about black women on the internet, he allegedly got one pregnant who was an OnlyFans model.
What?
Because this morning when I woke up, I've been depressed as for like 2 weeks, and simply because I'm pregnant for one, for two, like all this, but like I've just been depressed. So I had to sit and really think about everything. And as I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, first, before I do this, do I think that the way that he was approaching me was genuine? Do I feel good about the way that I was approached? Do I feel good about the way that everything happened? And my answer to that was no. And then I had to think, well, okay, why don't I feel like it was genuine? And I don't think it was genuine because if you're trying to tell somebody that you care about them, if you're trying to tell them that you give a about them and all these other things, but when you create a life with them, all that shit goes out of the window, then it makes the person feel manipulated.
Looks pretty hypocritical to me, but you get my drift. But now he's into it with a lady by the name of Hair.Soup. Hair.Soup is a feminist who is quite popular on TikTok. And recently she was offered $20,000 to come on to Kick to debate Nick Fuentes. Now, as you know, Nick Fuentes is a white/Latino racist. And whenever he gets an opportunity to debate women in general, it goes like this.
And women shouldn't go to college, and we talked about education.
That's what I just said. You're
But
living
then I
proof of why
said-
women should go to college. Let me just tell you that.
I'm living proof why women shouldn't go to college.
Yeah,
Wait.
because
If you don't want the
You're-
personal attacks, then
what
don't
if
give the
I-
personal.
what
If
if
you don't
I
want the
said-
personal attacks, then don't give the
What if
personal.
I said-
being
what if
If
I
you don't want the
said-
personal attacks, then don't give the
What if
personal.
I
being
said that
personally
you're
attacked
living
if you've been
proof?
paying attention.
What if
Oh, sure.
what
No,
if
I
I
have.
said that?
Catalina, Nick,
what if-
go ahead.
what if-
Hitler, that's the that I like. You know, you wouldn't like that if they said they liked Hitler in the song. They would hate that. I would also add, Italians never call them the N-word. We call them Moulignan.
So it's understandable why a woman wouldn't want to debate Nick Fuentes. And that's probably why Aiden Ross, who owns Kick, was willing to give her so much money to do so. But she gave this reason for her saying no to this offer.
Okay, so a few days ago, Aiden Ross hit me up and offered me $20,000 to debate Nick Fuentes, and I said no. I said no for several reasons, but the biggest one is that he's a white supremacist. I feel like this is kind of self-explanatory, but if you engage in a debate with the leader of a hate group, you are legitimizing that as a perspective that should be considered. How am I supposed to have a debate with someone who openly idolizes Adolf Hitler? Like, what are we supposed to talk about?
Right.
Healthcare? No. If you want to disagree with me about policy, that's fine. I don't care. But you can't just, like, hate people for no reason and expect me to, like, normalize that. I'm not doing that. So that's number one. Number two is his fans got really excited about it. Why did they get really excited about it? Because they're a hate group. And what does a hate group need? Something and someone to hate. So essentially, I was being paid $20,000 to provide entertainment for a bunch of Hell no.
Right.
And then number three is I think it's kind of hilarious that Aiden Ross tried to pay a girl $20,000 to talk to him and she still said no. That's just funny.
Damn.
Get advice from him? Jesus Christ. Yeah, but, you know, That's kind of my take on it. I just didn't want to. It's just gross. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm not going to feed into it. Not for $20,000 at least. If I'm going to sell my soul to the devil, it's definitely going to be a big bag. Like, I will never work again. No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so that's why I didn't do it. And, you know, it's fine to disagree, but come from a place of love and then we can talk. All right, bye.
She turned it down, but she did so in a very respectful way. Unfortunately, the commenters under this post on the Twitter handle Red Pill Saying disrespected her very much. So you saw what Myron said. He basically called the lady a bimbo. But stop the show. She actually responded to his comment on TikTok.
Hi, divas. So, in the mix of this whole thing with Aiden Ross, this other random person decided to call me out. This dude named Myron Gaines decided to comment on the situation. And I'm sure, as you can imagine, he said some very enlightened and really nuanced things.
Just kidding. He called me a bimbo. Here's me. Here's him calling me a bimbo. Telling me to shut the fuck up, by the way. No. So yeah, this caused me to do some extensive research. I Googled him. And it turns out he's the co-host of this podcast, and they're basically like marketing themselves as a dollar store version of Andrew Tate. Hi guys, real quick note from Naima the Hungover Editor. He wrote a book called Why Women Deserve Less. Crazy title. He has had Andrew Tate and Nick Fuentes on his podcast multiple times. He did this for them pretty hard. He hates black women. He openly calls them ghetto and all kind of crazy stuff on his podcast. Yeah. Now, content like this is especially bad because they're essentially marketing misogyny and they're branding it as like advice for young men. So they're basically profiting off of young men's mental health issues and insecurities to monetize misogyny. These guys are selling you a one-way ticket to dying alone. Don't buy it. To Myron, I cannot imagine the amount of self-shame that you feel to make content like this, and I'm sorry that you're going through that. Amru, I am sorry that you changed your name to conform to this ideal that is degrading you.
She called him by his full government name.
All of the women who have shown you love and support in your life, and all of the young men who you platform to. But I really think you should reevaluate it, because it's fucked up, dude. This is a weird business model. So to all of my young fans, I want you to remember, every single content creator you follow is getting paid. And that's fine. And some of us try to profit off of love and like, you know, not being assholes. And some of us don't. So just remember that when you're consuming content and take this shit with a grain of salt, because really it's not this serious. Bye.
Again, a classy response to somebody like Myron. And see, this is what these guys don't understand. People like Sneeko, who get reinstated onto YouTube for a day, get rebanned within 24 hours because you're talking trash about different groups like the Jews and stuff like that. And then you wonder why you can't make money on these platforms. Because why would you need to go after a lady because she declined to debate respectfully? It's not like she was coming hard at men or she was talking trash. She wasn't saying anything even disrespectful about the Kick platform or Aiden Ross. It's just immature to just start calling her names for no reason. And I can probably tell that I wouldn't agree with her politically or anything like that with probably many of the things that she's doing or talking about. I can just kind of get that vibe. But she seems like a nice lady. She's not disrespecting anybody. She's not trying to hurt anybody or anything like that. You know, hey, if she wants to be, you know, a liberal and you know, she wants to be a feminist, let her do what she's doing, man. Like, again, you know, she's not, you know, at least in the clips that I've seen, she's not disrespecting people. And so she's just doing her. If you don't like her, just leave her alone. I mean, you're the one that offered this lady to come on to Kick basically to get shitted on for $20,000. So she can be dehumanized for that amount of money. That's what you wanted to see. You want to see her get disrespected, called all kind of racist names by Nick Fuentes, and basically, you know, basically be a prostitute on Kick. And she said no. So on one hand, if you're selling your cheeks for $20,000, which is pretty much what she's doing intellectually, you would be okay with that, but you hate on OnlyFans models. Now she's saying no. Now she's a silly bimbo. This is why you guys blew your opportunity, because you don't know when to shut your mouth. And that's why you guys are going to be broke soon. if not already. But stop the show. At least I'm making money from this video, right? So I appreciate you. Hey, my mama need a new wig anyway, bruh. Thank you so much. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Dude Jackson back at it again here with another episode of Fair Use. We're out.